So, hi guys, good morning, all of you. Today we are starting the left configuration part of our machines to get a start of with this training. And for few reasons, I can't able to take the yesterday session because of my health. And we are starting today. Can you confirm, please? Like, am I audible or not? Quickly, if someone can give on the chat reply. Am I audible or not? Can you give the reply? Am I audible? Okay, fine. So, as we have covered in the last session, how you can install the virtual box and how you can download the ISO image, what the means of ISO, what's the AWS. So, the basic part we have covered. But in the last week's session, I am talked about the RHEL, like what's the RHEL means. There is nothing, just Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So short form is the RHEL. You can use any other Linux OS as I have told you earlier. So what you can do, we have installed the ISO, and now what we have to do, we have to run this ISO inside our VM, so we can use the our Linux machine. So once we are getting inside the VM, so let me talk about the basic of the VM, what the VM means, and how it's taking the storage, and this how this thing is working. So what the VM do? It's the name says the virtual machine. So it's not the real machine which we are using. Our which I call this laptop, DMZ devices. What is my virtual? It's not a real physical machine, but it's built on the top of that. So if I talk about you, this is our physical machine. I call the physical machine, physical one. On the top of this hardware, like you have a physical hard disk, RAM, storage. So these things you have. On the top of that, we are using the existing resources, and we are creating a one layer on between them, the virtualization there. And on the top of that, we are using. So if I talk about like how it's possible to run one OS inside one OS, another OS. So if you know, like everything in which we can run in our computer, that's called some kind of software or program. So uh, VirtualBox is a one software which gives us the capability. So what it will do internally, how it's possible to run, because you are currently in one OS and you are creating another OS inside that. How it so what it will do in the virtualization layer, if you I can show you in my task manager. If you see, there are a lot of OBS running, and I think some of the, yeah, VirtualBox manager and VirtualBox interface. So what it does mean, what the virtualization manager what is doing. If you see, these are the two programs which is running in my OS right now. So what it will do, once I have run the VBox, it will create a one process. So if you don't know about the process, what it does mean, so process is nothing, just our not the program, the software. Why I am calling the software? Because it's a group of program, multiple programs are running on the same time. And if I go in this, so when we call any program software, and when we call like a process, stream stop is stopped. Let me check the connection. No, it's healthy. Okay. And if I go inside the, so when we call a software as a software, and we can call as a process. So the thing is, if it's stored in your storage and it's not in what the means of running, I will talk you in some minute. So it's stored in your storage, and at the time of, we can say that this is our software or program, but executing state. So what the executing state means, that means if that software which is inside your storage, it's jump on the RAM. What the RAM means, it's like your memory. Memory. So if you don't know about the what the memory means, so if you you can think about, like, you have a lot of data in your mind stored. Like, I am currently using my pen and try to write on my touchpad. So that data, like, this is the pen, how you can write that stored in my mind somewhere. But right now, when I am trying to use that data, I am running one process inside my mind. So they can tell us like how you can do it. So we can't use the data at the store place. We have to execute them on the running memory. So RAM is like our memory, and the hard disk which you are using the storage. That's why we called the memory and the storage. So that's why you can differentiate both of them. Mukesh, can you confirm is stream is currently going or not? Because it's healthy from my side. Can you anyone confirm? No sound. You guys can't hear me. You are not able to hear me. Are you able to hear now? Not audible. NF stream. Such people. Wait a minute. Now it's audible. Now it's audible or not? Good. NF stream. Wait, what's happened? Oh, okay, great. Now I am audible now. So let's back to the thing. So I am telling about like how you can differentiate the storage and memory together. So what it mean? If I go like I'm talking about the virtual box, how it's internally working. So it's creating one process. So for our Windows machine, it's what I call, it's a one process only, and inside this process we are running our bunch of the whole program and entire operating system. So the process inside process, that's why if you have a know about the threads and multi-threading concepts, so that's why like in that way you can use that concept. So VM creating all the that program which is can give the capability to create a process inside one process. That's a simple plan. And what if you need know about our operating system? So if you want to access your operating system, right now I am accessing from my uh, devices. So it will also create the that what I say uh, the execution program, the drivers, yeah, the drivers. It will also create the drivers layer, so you can use your keyboard, mouse, and other devices to use inside that VM. So that all the process controlled by the virtual box. That's why we need. Okay, and also if we want to connect it from our like via the network, because if you see with some way I am connecting via network in our VM. So they have one IP, and my Windows also have one IP. So they are connecting with via the network. So they also have the network settings. I will tell you like what the network is. It's a network card, network adapters, routers, switches. So these are all the things we will talk later about. So that's all the thing maintained by the VM. Okay. So I will tell you like how you can. So if you try to install any OS before, so you need a one ISO image, image you have. Sorry, image you have. You have one ISO image, and then you are executing that image to store in your OS hard drive. Okay, and also we are enabling some features of that. So I'm not wasting any time more. You can just for how you can do it. Just first go to the settings here, and I what I am trying to. I have increased this. What I am do? I am increasing the CPU. So if you have a multiple CPUs in your system, you can use that. If you don't have more, you can use only one. Why I'm using it? It will boost up the computing power of my machine, so it will consume the lesser time for the installation. And what about the network settings I am talking about? That was the network settings. Currently it's a net adapter attached. If you go, you can attach a multiple. Yeah, I am not attaching anyone. Yeah, and then save, and then just click on the start. So it will uh, create a one program inside it, and it will pop up one is with the screen. It will take few seconds. Yeah, so it's like you are able, and first the time you will see this screen. So what you have to do, you have to click on this black console, and you have to use your arrow key. And if you see the first line says install RHEL 8.4, and then second says the test and then install. So it's a real ISO which we have installed. So we don't need to test it. We can directly install. Just select that tab and press enter. So it will boot up the uh, ISO from your ISO file to your memory of your machine. So it will take a few seconds. It's so some warning, not inclusion. Yeah, no such device. It's booting. So first it will check all the things like which I told, which is managing by the our virtual box. It will search all the things. All the checks are okay. Then it will execute. So we can wait, jump on the next part. By the meantime, it's installing. Don't have. So if we do in the installing part, we can do. Apart from that, like we also tipping our AWS things today. So if you want to create an account in AWS, how you can do? You can go in the AWS, sign in, and then you have to fill your details like your name, email, which company you are, which college you are. You can use that, and they give you the free trial account. Also they need your bank details account, so you can give them. If you don't want to use your physical one, you can create any virtual card like Kotak A11 or you have Airtel Payments Bank. That kind of card you also can use. You have to check with that, right? Second page, the I don't know what's the issue. Yeah, if you see this screen now, they will prompt to with this type of screen. Here you will see the language here, sir. So you don't have to change it. If you want to use in other language, you can change it, but it's the standard way. Click on the continue. It will take another second. I don't know why. Yeah. So it will prompt you some kind of this string. If you see, there is a three mandatory thing you which you have to do. First is installation destination. So where you have to install. Yeah, I have told you what the installation. It's just extracting the file, copying it to one place where you can use the. So if you see, there is one hard disk which we have created in the last session of 50 gigs, and then you just have to double click them. It will check and remove the warning, and click on the done. So what you are doing, you are just verifying how where you have to install. Then you have to set the root password, the user creation, and for the first thing, we can set the time of our system. We are in the IST, so we are selecting the IST time zone. You can just click on this India map. It will select the Asia region and city Kolkata. Uh, he is managing. It is managing the time from the NTP server of the Kolkata right now. So you can use network time on off. You can on if you want. If you on them, it will manage by the NTP. If you don't, you it will manage by the your local time. And then software selection. So what the software selection mean? Actually, what the RHEL do, they created multiple kind of they have a multiple kind of user, so they are using the same ISO, the same set of program, but they are modifying like some users need the servers corner, some are using a normal user, some need the minimal installation, some like every user have a different requirement. So the for that they have created one group. So we are using the workstation. What is a workstation? Is a user friendly desktop system for laptop or PC. So you can the server with the GUI, it's like for the server integration kind of thing. You can create only for server minimal installation, like they will prompt you only basic OS like your CLI. You can just go there and you have to do a lot of things there. And if you want some add-ons, so you can install. We will tell you about what this add-on means. Actually, this is the group of the packages. Then I have selected the section, software selection, and after that, this is the kernel. It's like a cache memory, a reservation. So it's used for uh, enabling the what I say the cache memory of your system. They will use first that memory for some reservation for internal. So you can do that, but I will not recommend you because you don't have some kind of bigger kind of environment. So you can just disable that. You have to face some latency, but it's okay. And the networking things which I am talking about, this was the and what is it? It attached one network adapter, the network adapter, but it's not enabled. So if you see, it's not enabled. How I can? It's showing the hardware address that called the MAC address. It's the speed. So speed is means like they will give you a approx 1000 MB of speed by transferring the data in your Windows to this. And if you are enabling this, so yeah, they will see you the IP address, the default route, the DNS. They will run to these things. Once we are going in the networking session, I will talk about this how this thing work, what the IP route and this thing working. and then okay, then you have to set the root password. If you don't know about the root, what the root is like your admin. So in our normal user, sorry, in our normal system, we have we have in the normal wait, yeah, we have a user. So why we need user? Because if you know, like if you are doing some work, you have to authenticate yourself. And if I talk about like you are in the one company or college, school, anywhere, so you have some ID card. So that ID card is like your authentication password kind of thing. We will once we are going in the user creation, user management. In the some minutes, I will tell you because in the AWS we need. So what you need one identity, like how you can authenticate yourself, who you are. So we need the user thing and the password. And in our OS, we have a like a three kind of user. What is first is the root one. Root is like your admin. If you know about the admin, what is it? Admin have all the powers. You are guys thinking like in our system we are having the all the powers. What's the means of that? So you are not. It's not mandatory. You are the admin of your system. Like if you have an Android phone, you have a user with your name by use that you are using your phone, but that user is the general one, general user. Why I'm talking about the general user? Because you don't have the capability to run the OS, boot the OS, like that thing you don't have. Also you can't manage the network things by on. Yeah, you have the capability to turn on the Wi-Fi, the uh, data connection, that thing you have, but you are the general user. You can't go inside the ISO of Android and see the what's the code written there, and how your clock of your Android is working. So if you ever go the live of the Android in your phone, you can't go in the slash drive. What the slash means? The root drive which you have. You can't go inside that. You don't have the permission because you are not the root. Okay. And then third type of user which we have the called the service user. So what the service user means? See, if you are running any program or some other software running a program, like you have run one software. Currently, if I show you, not here. Wait, this one. If you see this now, these all the status we have. It's not like I am running all the things. Like if you guys go in the user, so it's like my email. You guys can. So see, it's created by my user, and in my user, I am using these such a kind of things right now. And it's not the root one. Root have another things also. If you have multiple users, you can see all the things here. And I don't have in my Windows any kind of server. So if we have, you can also see the username of that server also. Currently in my system, I have the general and public one only my with my name. So that I'll call the service user. So for installing and booting, we need to first set up the root. So how you can set up? You don't have to wait. Just give the password here. Always give the password which you know. I am giving my default password. You can click on then. I have the default one, the general one, so it's prompt me for the warning. Okay, and then you can give the name. I am giving my name, Bobby Singh, and you need the password, required password. So you can set that you need the password for this account or not. I am giving the same password as the root. It's not good, but we are in the test environment, so we can give. And also they have a tick mark like make this user admin. So what is this mean? You also can have the use the permission of the root thing. So by some method you can use it. That's called the sudo. I will talk about you like how you can the root permission there. So if you want, you can do it. Otherwise, I will tell you what is internal is doing, what it will do by clicking on this button. Generally, we don't need. So if you, they will show the root password set, and so you have all the things done. Then click on the installation. It will take 10 to 15 minutes of time for doing all those things. You don't have to just wait for a second. It will prompt you to reboot the system, and then we will do the other thing. It will take 10 to 15 minutes. So we will get back to this. By the meantime, I will tell you how you can set up the AWS account. Yeah. So in the AWS, once you created the what I say, the account, what it will do, they will give you one user, simply like your Windows. So what is user? That user, they will give you the one user, and what that user? It's like associated with your current email, and you have some password, so you can use that. And what it will do? It will show you the root user. And go wait. Yeah, with this one, AWS console login. If I go here now in the this sign in, yeah, they will probably root user or IAM user. So IAM user like your other user which I called your general one, and root user is the main user. So in the root user, you have all the permission of your AWS account, like your billing account, all the services which provided by AWS. So it don't have the restrictions. So what the organization do? They buy some AWS subscription with a one or more account, depends on their internal architecture, and then they will create by this account. They use one service called IAM. If you go here, this IAM user, if you click on that, it will prompt you the account ID. So why that's account, like they want the account ID or account name. So if I told you in the AWS user, you are having the root account with the root user. Okay, and inside this user, what you are doing, you are using one service called IAM. So the account ID of this is called the root account ID, or like your organization. So because in the root you can give the email and the password, and you can just log in. But if you are using any IAM user, so you have to first tell them like on which, because it might be the one email can use in multiple different account as a like IAM user. So you have to tell them you are the IAM user or the root one for the authenticated, in which account you are checking out. So you have to give you the account ID, and then what after that, once you fill that, it will check in that account ID you have that user or not. And if you don't have give the account ID and use the direct route, so they will check is there root user with that email ID or not for the authentication. So that's the thing. And what it will do in the IAM user, you have the power to create the other users. You will create the user, set their password, and set the permissions for them, like what they can do. So it's something like for creating user. Streaming is stopped again. God. Yeah, Akshat, can you tell me like it's am I audible now or not? I don't know what's happening. There's so much delay. Am I audible, guys? You can give it a thumbs up or yes, you can do in. I think am I audible now? Okay. Am I audible? Yeah, now it's working. Fine. So you will set your permissions, and what is in the permission? In these permissions, you can give the limitation like which service you can use, how much you can use. So that are all the things you get. And after that, you can set the CLI things, like they will call you like what the programmatic access or like developer access. So you can give the that CLI access for that. So it's like they will create a one access key, and the secret key for you. And once you have created the user, they will prompt you one dialog box, like for downloading the access key and secret key. So I can't show my access key and secret key. It's like some 18 to 20 digits character for the access key, and some around 20 to 25 digits characters for the secret key. So you can use that. And if I go, what you have to do, you have to, it's something like that. They will prompt you something kind of this. So you just have to use AWS configure command, paste it there, you are good to go. You don't have to. We have other method also, like for creating multiple profiles. So like that, we will talk about this later. Also, if you don't want to give here, you can set the environmental variables. I have told you the environmental variables from where they are getting the information. You can set with this environmental variable. You can use. They will give you the command how you can. You just can copy, paste, and update this thing. You can Windows for Windows. You can use the setx, and then so with the setx command you can set the environmental variables for all the session of this. For the current session, you can use the set. So what the session means, like I have opened like if I duplicate this tab, so this is the one session, this is the second session, both are in the, I can do anything here and here. So both are the belonging from the different environment altogether. That's the means of the session. Okay. So what the IAM means, it's the identity and access management service. It's the web service that enables the securely remote access. So you can just read the doc, and if you want, you can see this video and this. So you will get the all the info what this means, and I will also recommend you to read this doc. It's a really good one. I also referred it. And I think by the meantime it's done. Okay, it's in the process. So what I, then after that you can use the, what I say, your command prompt, then AWS configure. If you don't know, you can just pass. If you don't know the command, you can pass AWS and then help. They will tell you the help of command. So they will open one doc. Right. They will open one doc. Right. I think now you can just press enter, enter, enter. You will see, or you can read the whole doc. How you can use that. They will tell you all the things. These all the services you can. In the AWS you have this lot of services. This is a really big kind of thing. And how you can create them? Just press Q. By pressing Q, you can with it. Let's wait for the some minutes more. How it's console like look like, if I can show you. I didn't log in inside that. It will prompt me, I think, for the access. Yeah, I can show you the images in the next session. So something kind of this kind of dashboard you will see there. Identity access, and they will see the users, groups, roles. What the group identity provider roles means, I I will tell you. In the users, you can go and create the user. Also, I think we have some doc how you can create it simply. We don't need the AWS account right now, but it's good. By the meantime, you can create, guys. It's almost done. It's so slow. That's why I'm using the CLI more, because that will not take the so much resources from our main system. Configuring CA kernel. Till here, if you have any doubt, you can ping on the chat. By it's like, meantime it's completing. If you have, you can. It will take a lot of time. Let's wait for some second. I think it will take 10 to 15 minutes more. And the thing is, I have told you, you have to install the conda, and then you can use the conda install command. What, like, it's a use, you can use the con session be on, no, the session not only be on Sunday, it will be on Saturday, Sunday. Because of my health, I can't able to take the session yesterday. And then you can install with the con, like we are using the Boto 3, so you can use the Boto 3 library. Click on that, it will install the Boto 3 in your system. Currently I have installed already, so it will not, it's taking so long. It's installing, so it will check. Because if I tell you what the Boto 3 means, Boto 3, so it's a one library, like if you know about, it's created by the Amazon. So the developer guys which want to connect with the AWS APIs, not for like from the CLI base, like they want to directly hit to the API and that thing. So for them, AWS created this Boto library, so they can use the AWS resources. So how you can install that? You can install it by the pip, is like this command pip install Boto 3, then equal to you can give the version name. And if you want to create the like no older version from that, you can mention this thing. If you want to install the newer version for that, you can give that. So it's a simple thing, you can use the pip command. So pip is the installer for the Python. You can use the conda, because we are using the conda because we are having the conda id, so we can use that. Then how you can configure that? See, if you have configured your AWS uh, credentials by the what I say, this AWS configure, you don't need to do any configuration. And how you can import, use it, just use Porto 3 import. And after that you can the Boto 3, then Boto 3 class, it's like a library, is like a one of the class you can use. And inside that you have a multiple functions. You will create the, like, it's the example of setting up the connecting with the S3 sources. What the S3 means, I will tell you. And there you can list the name of the bucket, and then upload a file. So it's the simple. And if you want to go in the deeper, you can use the simple tutorials, like SQS1, queue, exiting queue, sending messages, processing. So they have a lot of thing. For the SQS have, they have code examples, they have developer guides, they have available services list, they have. So in the available services, if you see, these all the services you have in the AWS which you can manage by the Boto 3. So these all the things you can. So it's always good to refer the official documents. They will give you the right knowledge, which you can use anywhere. I also refer these docs lot. Okay, fine. Informs. Also, many other things which you can't able to do with your what I say, any, yeah, it's like it shows the photo how you can, it will prompt you for the yes or no. The conda, they want to upgrade the conda first. uh, you can give the why, it will update. So they want, you have to give the yes or no, like they go to the like internet, download that, then extract the package. So installation means just download and extract, nothing else. You can do the things manually and say I have installed that. Many times we will do that thing for the installation when we don't have the automation method. We have to use the manual way. So in the manual way we will go extract the binary files, paste it on the our that directory, that uh, however all the codes, and then we will add in the path variables. So that's a simple thing which we follow in the industry a lot. When we, yeah, it's installed, it will prompt to like a reboot your system. So we will click on the reboot, and then it's terminated the instant. Once it's terminated there, it will take few seconds and it will start boot again, and then it will again prompt you for the installation. Why it will show, yeah, it will so I am talking just do one thing, do click on the power of the machine and click OK. So that will off the machine. Why we have off the machine? Because if you see in the installation, we didn't set one thing that called the boot order. Let's see, you have multiple storage device, like one is your hard disk, one is your DVD, one is your floppy. We don't use the floppy more now. And then you have your PD and other so and so. You have a lot of storage devices. So sorry, the operating system don't know, like the what I say, the bootloader program, which helps to, the one program which helps to boot the OS. Like if you have start your laptop, click on the power button. So what's the first program which is load? So that was the bootloader program. It will run first and then it will tell us like which, in which path we have the operating system, how we can execute it. So that thing will do. So, and also if you have a multiple hard disk, so they don't know, like if you have three hard disks, in which hard disk you have the OS. It will search, and also it don't know like which I have to search first, which I have to go second. So what it will do, hard disk, like you have a three hard disks, it will check first, it will check second, it will the third. If it found second, they will not go to the third. It doesn't mean like you are trying to use the third one. If you don't want, like you have selected, they got in the second hard disk, they will use that. And if you have a DVD one, so what we have done till here, we have used the DVD. And if I show you the boot priority of this, if you go in the settings system, see, it will check all the things like a floppy, optical. So what the mean, like priority of this, floppy first, optical disk first, hard disk first. And what we have done now, what's our current boot order? Boot order is, first is floppy, second is our DVD, that optical drive, third is our hard disk, sorry, hard disk, hard disk. So it will check on the floppy. We don't have floppy. It will ignore that. Then it will check the DVD. They will got the ISO because we have attached that. And what we have done previously, we have installed from the DVD to our hard disk. So they will use this ISO. They will ignore this one. So what we can do, we can interchange the place of this order, and it doesn't mean you can use the floppy first. We don't have it. So what we will do, we will click on this hard disk and make it up in the top. So it will first check the hard disk. If they found the it's having in this, they will not use other. And let me go to the, yeah, in the motherboard they will like set the orders. That's the different thing. Mouse pointing device, the mouse and this chipset they are using. And now if you boot now, they will not tell you you don't install the Linux because it will check your hard disk first. And what happened? It will check your hard disk first, and they will found that we have the program, just run it. Okay, if you see now you are getting this RHEL page. At the first time, previously we didn't see in this screen, but now we get. In the devices you can see like which are the things attached. So what I am attaching this RHEL one. Why I am attaching, you can, I will tell you in a sometime. Then it will prompt you this screen, license information. So it's the enterprise one. You can buy the license from the RHEL. They will give the support and the features to you. The subscription manager, you can add the subscription if you have the activating. I will use the subscription key. Then you can configure it. That's a different thing. But we are using the open source version, so we don't need. Open source is like not the free one. Open source doesn't mean like this the free, but the open source means the source code of this OS, the source code for the source code, the actual code of this OS, it's in the public. So you can get the code, modify by your own, and you can. And what the it was, if I can go, I have to switch back to my this one. GitHub. So this my GitHub ID. It's taking so long. I search about the Linux GitHub account. So you will see the one of the great person repo. So this is the actual code of the Linux. If you see now, so this is the actual code of Linux. You can clone a repo, change it, create your own Linux. And which person created? This is the person who created the Linux 2 volts. So this is the person. Like they have this much achievement. I don't have this much, but I think I have, yeah, 3 of the achievements I have. This person have lot of than me. So this is the great personality I can see. I can say that like without that person, I think none of the our industry can survive like in this place. Okay. So the source codes are available. Mean the open source means this source code you can see. So you can go in this code. You will see all the libraries, kernels. They have a multiple like all the drivers, script. See, these are all the libraries they have created. So if you see, this is created in the C. So Linux is created in the C language. Also, a lot of guy contribute here, like more than 13K. It's a lot. So that are the open source guy, very genius minded guy. So once you boot up this, you will see this subscription, and then finish on the configuration. Click on the finish one. It will check all the things which we have confirmed. If you paste the subscription key, and it will prompt you this screen. Currently you are not able to this use in the full screen. Yeah, if you prompt, they will give you like this, but I will tell you how you can make it the fullest screen. So the general user you can see here, but the user, the root, you don't see here. So what you have to do, you are not registered, click on the root, give your password, login. So they will prompt you by the root access. They will give you the access of the root user. How you can check you are the root? Simple thing. So system not registered. They will prompt you some basic tutorial thing. The warning, you have the root privilege. Privilege is like means of the thing of permission. And if you see now the root account, you will see the username here. Then yeah, it's the initial thing. You can just ignore it. Escape. Start using it. The layouts, you can use that. How you can simple tutorial get starting one. And then if I go here, so if you see now, this is the terminal of, you will see root at the local host means local system. You can change this name, the host name of the system, and you can use the who am I. So they will use see, give the ID like with the all the context with group your with group ID. So they will tell you you have the user 0, ID 0. So root user always have the ID 0. The name doesn't mean, but if you are having the ID 0, that means you are the root. You can do anything. Okay, and if you see, this is the current, and if I can go in the slash, this is all the see Python command not found because it's used the Python 3. If you see this Python 3, Python 3.6 they are using. Can exit this. But what I need the Python 2 also. So in the RHEL we use the yum command to install some packages. So like I mentioned the Python. It will not, but it will show you something great. Update the subscription manager history, unable to read the customer identity, the system is not registered, so they'll say it's not registered, and then it will prompt you one error. There is no repository in this, this, and this directory. So in these three directories, you can create the a repo. What the repo means? It's something like that. This is the repo. What it means? It will have the path of all the uh, packages, all the software. Like they will tell you the metadata of the repo. So you can see, and how you can see the repo. You have a one repo. See, if you don't have any repo, so you how you can install the this Linux altogether. But if you know, we have installed this Linux by the ISO. So that means ISO have some packages which is installed. That's why we are getting this terminal, this screen now. And if I can show you, there are the Firefox. Firefox, you know that this is also one browser. So this have one software. Where it's come? It's come from the ISO. That means we have some packages in the ISO, but we didn't install. Why we didn't? install, because if you know at the time of installation we selected the workstation environment. So in the workstation they install that packages only, they don't install other packages. But we can install. How we can install? If you see this file icon, click on this, the home, they will show you the dashboard. If you see, this is the drive. Why I have used this device app.optical, that's why I use. If I remove this now, this way unmount, see, it will not prompt you. That's so it might you are trying to use the package from the ISO, they will not use. You have to click no device, this checkbox, they will prompt you here. So basically you have to start, and if you see, there is a two, see, ISO Linux. If you see some .repo file like media.repo and the, so these are the files which we use. And if you go here, the packages and repo data, see, these all the packages we have in the ISO. So we can use, let's take time. Yeah, these all the packages we have, lot of packages here. But we can't use because we don't have set the path. And this was the repo data. What it will store? It will store in which path, in which location, which package is installed. So in these two ways, we have a lot of packages which we need. So what you can do, you can just right click here, open terminal here, it will run, and then use the PWD command. Say they will tell you the path. Just copy this path. How you can copy? Simple, right click, copy, or you can use a Control Shift C. So in the Linux we use the Control Shift C because Control C we use for the terminating the command, exiting. So if I tell you where we have to go, we have to go this directory. So how we can go? Just CD. CD means change directory. /etc/yum.repos.d. You can use the tab key for auto completion. You have to give some initials path and then you can use. If I show you, this is having a one file. Cat command you can use for reading the file. So they will tell you like these things, the error which you are getting. Sorry, no, this thing. You can use the repo list command to refresh the repo. So if we use yum repo list, you will see no repository available. Okay, and because of that, because we don't have set the path, we can create a one ISO. You can give any name. I am giving something, what I say, gedit, like what the gedit means, like it's something like the notepad which you have. You can use the any CLI it like VI Vim. It depends upon you. I am using gedit because many are the familiar one. It's familiar with the notepad. So gedit you can give the any name. I am giving the called the give something ISO.repo because it's coming from the ISO. Or you can give the what RHEL.repo. That also means because it's coming from RHEL ISO. What it GT do? It will create a, you see. Make sure you have login with the root user, otherwise you can't able to create the file in this directory. Okay, it will create a one file, and how what you can do? Actually, this is the syntax. What you have to this is the syntax which you can use. App stream, and then you have to set the path from where it's coming. It's coming from the base URL. I don't think you have to keep the space, and then you can paste this path, but it will not take. Why it will not take? See, you have set the path, but you don't know the protocol. What the protocol says? If you see now, if I connect, click on this, see this path. This protocol tell you from where your data is coming. And in my system, I think I have see this thumbnail of the today's session. So if you go in the properties, na, this path you will see. Yeah, location of this. But how you can? If I open this one in the browser, oh sorry, I'm using the different shortcuts. It will see if you open na, and then I click on this. See this path because it's coming from the local, and this has the local data which is coming from its and some this thumbnail. See the thumbnail is coming from this. So if you see open this na, it's having the protocol what file, and it will be the index of this. So you can search any kind of index, like we have a lot of. So what we have to do, we have to mention the file colon slash slash. What the means of colon slash slash? So it tells you that this is the protocol, and if you see now, it will again prompt you the error. Why? You are getting the package, but you are not authenticating it. So it's like something called the GPG check. It's like the check of the authentication. Like this is the not the malicious, like not the hacking kind of thing, malicious software, like some virus or. So we are what we are doing. We are disabling this. Otherwise, we have to pass some key for the authentication. You can pass the key. It's not a big deal. You will see in this folder. You have a one key, and you can use that. Okay. This thing you can use, and you have to enable this repo. Enable is equal to 1. Okay. Sorry. And then click on the save. It's opened here, no issues. You can use yum repo list. Let's see if we have done something. Yeah, it's coming. Not. Yeah, it came. See, it's listed. So with this way, we can. What I'm doing, I'm just God. Okay. You can use Control C, Control V here also. Yeah, here we can use. What this is the GUI bin, the CLI. You can give a base OS. It doesn't means you can give a base OS. You can give some called package 1 repo, package 2 repo, something like that. I'm giving it like because we can get to know from where it's coming. It's always good to give the some meaningful name. And how we can get. See, this is the JPG key which I have talked about. You can get it. Yeah. Base OS. Make sure give the remember the capital and small things, letters, because it might be you gave some path, and in the base OS you have mentioned the small o, small s. In the upstream, you mention the smallest. You can just save this file. It's saving. It's done. You can close it, no issues. But I am not closing it. And one thing more, if you go here, not in this one, the older, yeah. If you see now, there they didn't prompt any command. So because this is opened, that's why you can't able to use it. We have some way to run the in the background. I will tell you somewhere. Then if I run a yum repo list, and I have used one command cd double dot. So what double dot means? Double dot means is the parent directory. We are inside first app stream, so the parent directory is called this one. And I know in that directory we have the both. So for checking the file name directory name, I have used the cd double dot. You can use, and the dot represent the present directory. Okay. And now if you use yum install python, so it will first check. Previously it's not checking. Now it will check and tell you like, see, not able to get the, but they prompt you. You can get the Python 3.8, 3.9. So what a Python 3.6, 3.8, 3.9? It is the Python 3.6, 3.8, 3.9. And apart from Python, you can use the Python 2. Yum install Python 2. And it will prompt you for the yes and no thing. Yeah, it's installed. By this thing, you can install the Python 3.8. Also, you if you want na, you can give the list of the command Python 3.8, Python 3.6. You can give it. Or is so if you don't want to pass yes, yes, yes again, you can give the hyphen by. See, it's installed the first this module 3.8 and installing all the things, and then it's installed complete. So this thing you can do. And if you want to search Python 3.8, I'm giving the version, not one. Okay. 3.6. Yeah, Python 2 it's coming. Okay. You can search the which how you can, it's not a big deal. I think they have another command for Python. No issues, we can check that. Python 3.6 is fine for us. And here you can install the, go to this browser. You can't able to copy paste from your Windows. You can open this Firefox. This Firefox is here, and here you can AWS CLI. It's a really small screen. I will tell you in the next session how you can make it in the full screen. Also, a lot of other things. So you can go here. In the Linux we are using, and with the Linux you can install, follow the steps. These are the steps, important instruction. You need one, two, these things. Install and update. They will tell you all the things. The manual of method also. They will tell you like for extraction you need these commands. Important migration from one to two. In the Linux, yeah. Linux environment is this. See, Linux 64 base or you, what you have to do, you just have to copy this command, go here and paste it. It will first run. It will take few seconds to install. Sorry, for the download. Yeah, if you see it's downloaded here, then you can use this command for unzipping. So this is called the manual thing which I am talking, and then you can run this. Okay, if you see now it's installed in this directory, AWS hyphen version. It says so this AWS configure. It don't have any access key, secret key. You can give anything here. Okay, so in that this way you can set up your RHEL and AWS there, and also you can use Python. Sorry, the pip 3. Pip 3 is using for the Python 3. Pip 3 installed. Boto 3. So in future we need, it will prompt you the root thing because you are running from the root. It's not good, but in local we can use. In the real world we don't use the root. We will use the sudo method. It will install this Boto 3 with this command. Once it will do, yeah, it's installed. How you can verify it? Just use pip3 list command. Yeah, with this if you see these all the libraries you have, and on you have to scroll in the second one, you will see this. So in this way you can install the Boto 3, AWS and Linux. Practice till here, and we will catch up with you in the next weekend. And if you have any queries you can ping me on my LinkedIn and other social media handles if you know. Otherwise you can use the WhatsApp group for solving your queries. If you like this video and this session, please share with your with your known ones, and support me guys. Subscribe this channel, share it with you. If you have any query you can ask. Otherwise we will wrap up today. I think it's good. We don't have any queries. So you can ping me if you have. Otherwise, we will connect on the next weekend.